Well, the peanut buttering has begun. I got up early this morning and got out here and cleaned up and started prepping for my peanut butter. You can see I've got the whole bilge done. I tell you, this uses up a lot of resin, guys. You got to be really be willing to spend some money if you're going to do this. But I like the results much better than the PL. I've got nice long transitions for my fiberglass to stick to, especially back here in the corners. So I've done a lot. I mean, these actually have filled in the strakes, and that uses a bunch. I mean, I think I've gone through, I don't know, a gallon of resin already. And I've just done either side of the engine bay. I've done this side of the engine bay stringer, and I've done that side of the engine bay stringer. So what I'm doing is I'm taking acetone, wiping down both surfaces, the wood and the deck or the hull. Really good with acetone to promote adhesion. And then I mix up my peanut butter, which I'm using 1/4-inch chop strand pieces, you know, the little small ones about like this, and then Cabasil to thicken it up and making it really, really thick. My last batch, I didn't make it thick enough, and it kind of was a real pain to work with. So the thicker you make it, the better you're going to be. And I found the miracle peanut butter spreader. Went to Kroger this morning, got me a metal spoon. This thing gives me my perfect rounded edges, plus I can dip it in my acetone, wipe it off, and get it nice and clean. So I'm happy with this so far. I got 2 of them. One of them I'm using to scoop out my Cabasil. And by the way, guys, make sure you wear your respirator when you're doing this. That Cabasil is very dangerous. And I was mixing up pints at a time, and it was taking me forever. So I mixed up, you see that big one right there? I filled it full. I said, no, I didn't. I did 2.5 quarts. 2.5 quarts, mixed it up, and didn't go very far. But when you're filling up stuff, you can't expect a whole lot. So I've only got 1 more gallon of Cabasil, which I have a feeling I'm going to go through pretty quickly, and I can't get any more till tomorrow. So I guess we'll be done. Although I won't be able to get much more done anyway. We've got some pretty big storms that are supposed to roll through here. We got a pretty good rain last night, and it's supposed to rain all afternoon, so I'm just rushing to get this done as soon as possible. So that's where I am so far. I'm real happy with how these peanut butter are coming out, and it's going to give nice and good adhesion to the stringers and the bulkheads, and give me a spot to put my 1708 on. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to mix up a little more of this stuff after I'm just letting some of this kick off, because it's real easy to step in it when you're moving around. So I'm going to let this batch harden and then come back and do another batch here in a few minutes. Man, I'm really rushing against this rain. I came back out and I put another 2 quarts down, and basically the whole stern of this is done. So that means from the back of the fuel tank backwards is completely done. Now I've used 6 quarts of resin. So that's, no, I'm sorry, 7 quarts. Yeah, 7 quarts of resin. So that's quite a bit, you know, to be able to do this. That means 7, 7, 7. You do the math. It adds up pretty quickly. So that's, what's it, 4 quarts in a gallon? So that's almost 2 gallons just used up right there. It's a lot. I think it's 4 quarts in a gallon. I can't remember. Fumes are getting to me. So anyway, I'm going to see if I can't get another mixed up. And what I didn't show you is I got me a whole bunch of PVC pipe the other day and fittings. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make a better holder for the cover, that I don't have to stretch this stupid thing out every time. I can just basically, you know, bend it into place, leave it up there, and throw the cover over it. So you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do right now. Is I'm going to work on the cover, let the other stuff kick off. I'm down to my last half gallon of Cabasil, and I'm running low on milled fibers too, and my chop strand. So I'll have to get more of that tomorrow whenever they open up. So see, I think I can get these things going, and then if it's still not raining when I'm done making the cover supports, I'll put some more peanut butter down. So this is probably going to take a little longer than I anticipated. Seems like everything on this boat takes longer than anticipated, because it always grows. You know, I find something I want to do differently, or something like that, and that's one of the things you always got to factor in, is that your design will change on the fly, and that always adds time to it. But you know what? When this is all said and done, I mean, that is going to be so strong, and then you add the fiberglass to it. I mean, this boat, I hope, will last me a very, very long time. So I'll stick at it. A little frustrating at times, but you know what? It'll be done soon enough. Well, about 45 minutes And a little thought, I turned PVC pipe into a nice little tent. Took me a little while to figure it all out, but I got it done. And I need to glue them all, but right in the middle of all this, when I had the cover off, it started raining. And you can tell by it's scary. So they're not glued together right now, they're pretty much friction fit. I'll show you kind of how they work here. I also kind of inadvertently created myself a little tent to work in, probably. We'll have to see how it goes. I figure if I can help keep the shade in the shade, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get some ventilation through here. Maybe with a fan or something in the front. But I don't know if you can see or not. Here we go. You see how the supports go across? I used the PVC pipe coming out, and then that just go into strategic locations, and then they're just bowed up and over. You can see I got quite a bit of light in here, but you know, I can get myself a fluorescent and put it in here or something like that and work. Pull the front and the back out and get some cross ventilation and actually go to town. But right now it's raining, I'm tired, I'm gonna go inside for a little while. Maybe come out and mix up some more peanut butter and put it in there in a little bit. But just shows you think a little bit, and come up with some good ideas. We'll see how it works when it rains though, right? Well, it stopped raining and the sun came out, which is kind of nice. Dried up everything pretty quick, and so I'm back out here. It's about 4:30, so I had about an hour and a half I had to quit. But you can now see my PVC pipe curvings, and I've got a good amount of PVC glue up at my shop, so I'll go get that, glue those things together next time I can. But they seem to be holding pretty good right now. The water drained off pretty easy a few minutes ago. So anyway, I'm fixing to pour 2 more quarts in there, mix it up. What I'm doing is 2 quarts and a whole bunch of my chop strand. A lot of people are asking about what this chop strand is. That's what it is. It's 1/4 inch chop strand, which means it's 1/4 inch long, and it's basically that stuff chewed up. So what I do is I mix a bunch in there. What I do is I pour 2 quarts in, mix up my catalyst, which I've got this nifty little, I don't know, this I had this from some science kit from a long time ago with my son or something like that. But it's real nice because it measures in milliliters, and it says on the side there how many milliliters you need to mix in for however many you need, 2 quarts, quart, gallon, etc. So I just mix it up. I'm mixing it about 1% right now, which gives me about 20 to 25 minutes in this heat. I say heat, it's probably 87 degrees, it's pretty hot. But and then that way I can, I go ahead and kick it off first, and I mix it with my drill, with my little beater over there. And then I start mixing in my stuff, and then pour in my cabosil, which is right there, little by little, until I get the thickness that I want. And then I go in there and slap it in and start spreading. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to see if I can't get how much further I can get before I run out of my cabosil and have to quit basically for the day, because there's nothing else I can do. I am officially out of cabosil. Done. Over with. Half of it's on my friggin' work table there. It's 2 gallons of cabosil and probably 4 gallons of resin, and I'm not even to the halfway point. I've got the stern and then the belly portion right there, somewhat done. You can see where I ran out over there. So that's a lot to do this, and a lot of people saying this is overkill, but I know it's overkill. But you know what? Anybody who knows me knows that if I'm going to do something, I overdo it just to make it right. I'm on a roll, so I'm actually going to go see if I can find me some wood flour. Let's see if Home Depot or Lowe's carries it. They probably don't, but you know what? Can't hurt to call and ask. But that cloud looks pretty ominous, so I might have to cover up for the day. Had some issues with getting the mixture right on the peanut butter. If you put too much of the chop strand in there, it turns into almost like chop strand mat, and it's a bitch to work with. So you want to make sure you just put a little bit in there and then use mostly cabosil to thicken it up to make a good peanut butter mixture. And it should come out to be that color right there, at least with the resin I've got. You see how dark that is? That's what I used, a lot of chop strand and a little less cabosil. Just kind of, experimenting a little bit. So I've still got to do that little bay right there and then everything forward. So I'd say probably another 3 gallons. Probably ought to get this handled, and then we'll be ready to start putting some fiberglass on. Let's see if there's anything else I need to cover. Not really. Just the fact is I use a crap load of materials here. This stuff will sneak up on you really quick. A lot of people will buy a couple of gallons and think it's done. Well, I've already killed a 5 gallon, and we're halfway through this 5 gallon. So, you know, and I've got only got one left. So I've still got to do all the stringers, and I got to do the deck. So I guarantee I'll be into it for 20 gallons before it's all said and done. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cover it back up and see what I can come up with as far as finding some wood flour. Go from there. Well, it looks like we're out of luck for today. No wood flour anywhere. I thought maybe Lowe's or Home Depot would sell it by the pound or something like that, but no. So you know what? The rain's coming. I just looked at the radar, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up and cover it up. So I'll go tomorrow and get probably 2 or 3 more gallons of Cabasil, and that way we can, during the week, I can get the fillets all done and get them completely ready to go. So that way I can start putting some 1708 down soon. I'd really like to get some stuff done as far as getting this deck back on. I've talked to Aero Marine also about ordering some more. I'm going to order a 10-gallon kit of the foam. I'm going to go ahead and foam it. I've thought, and to be honest with you, it adds so much more. You know, it adds stiffness to the hull. It actually makes the hull feel better. It also makes it quieter. I'm in the kind of the home construction. I own a home theater company, and so I see a lot of foaming that goes in homes. And you can tell the difference when a house is foam versus a house that's not. I've also got some calls into a couple places that actually foam those houses to see if maybe they'd be interested in doing the boat. But I think it's actually a different type of foam. It's not a closed cell, so I need to confirm that before we go jumping down that road. So anyway, I think it's done for this weekend. I got about half the boat done as far as the fillets, but everything's cut. You know, once I get all the fillets done, we should be able to start cutting our 1708 and laying it in there and getting it ready to go. So that's it for the weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.